if nothing else, we didn't know about a bowl game as of, a week to 10 days ago. All the bowl bids are out. The bowls are scheduled. Nebraska, nothing postseason play now for a fourth consecutive year, right?
Yeah.
That's now four consecutive years.
Since the Music City Bowl in Nashville, I'm like, oh, what's going on there today, too? Boy, that just – but, it's been a while for a bowl game, and feel sorry for the folks there in Nashville right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. You never know what's going to happen, so we get hit with bad news from time to time, and that's the latest. Yes, a Music City Bowl game against Tennessee, as I recall.
Alvin Kamara, who just had 6 touchdowns today, too.
It all kind of comes full circle. Yeah, he's turned out to be a pretty good football player at the next level.
Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the Huskers went down in that one to think, I believe they had a 9-win season that year, 9-4 under Mike Riley.
Yep.
38-24. I tend to remember scores. Does that sound about right?
That's about right, yeah. Riker Fife, if I could say that right, had to finish the season off there for injured Tommy Armstrong. And, they were in that game, but just a little bit too much Tennessee for him, a little bit too much Alvin Kamara. So, but, still some fond memories. Would like to get back to a bowl game because that was usually one of the highlights of the year. It always brings back a lot of fond memories. I think probably one of my fondest, we go back to, what was it, 2011, 2012, down in Orlando, and we were at for the trip was the Universal Studios trip, and we went through the whole park with Rex Burkhead and Amir Abdullah and Will Compton and who else would it have been? Martinez. So there you go. That was a lot of fun going around with those guys the whole day and sharing the day with them. And, those kind of things, they mean a lot to college football players. And, to go 4 years in a row to have a whole senior class that didn't even get to go to a bowl game, it's hard to imagine. So, this is the time of year that's usually going on. And, I thought last year, I even mentioned it to, family members and friends. I said, hey, don't get used to having me around at Christmas because, we're going to start going to bowl games again here pretty shortly. And we're still waiting.
Orlando, that sounds like one of those 2 trips against Georgia.
Yeah.
Right around the same time frame.
It was against Georgia. Yep. I got a picture of me and Uga on the sideline before the game.
Yeah, there was the one game where they in 2012, you talk about picking up a pretty rough draw for a Nebraska team that was good, but they were like top 20, 25 good. And they had to face that Georgia team that lost to Alabama by that much to miss a BCS championship game. And that team was loaded. That was a good game. Nebraska stayed in the game, but Aaron Murray and those receivers might have been just a little bit too much. Todd Gurley and company late in the game. But then a couple of years later, they got some payback.
Yep, got him back. So it always seems, for some reason, bowl matchups always kind of seem to involve the same teams with Nebraska a lot of the times. So, you kind of get those chances for revenge. But, you got to love those. You got to love those Big Ten SEC matchups. I think that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of pride for the Big Ten, when they can go in there and actually beat an SEC team and hold a little bit of bragging rights, because I think everybody knows what the SEC fans are like with their arrogance a little bit about their college football.
And from a big picture standpoint, those, regardless of how good the SEC gets, those are the 2 power brokers in the sport.
They are.
From the standpoint of the TV ratings, the rear ends in the seats, they always average the top crowds in attendance by far. They make the most money. They're the 2 conferences that own the sport. So when they meet on the field, it obviously means a lot as well. Yeah, as soon as you mentioned Nebraska running into the same teams, I thought of Washington as well. Didn't they go two consecutive years with Washington?
Yeah, actually, they played them twice in the same year,
in the same season.
Yeah. So that was odd, but it seems like you get stuck with if that Pac-10 matchup you're getting. It seems like you're going to get that a couple years in a row, and it's bowl seasons is just kind of strange what kind of matchups you end up getting. I think old school fans, especially old school Nebraska fans, would always be used to Nebraska going down and playing in Miami every year. So, it's been a little bit of trying to get used to going to, a kind of a lesser bowl game, if I want to say, instead of playing for those national titles like they used to do all the time against the U and against the Gators and against the Seminoles.